3 weeks in Norway had gone in a flash. But we were starting to question whether we were trying to fit too much in. Would we be able to maintain this tempo for much longer? After such a long journey north, we had finally made it to the Lofoten Islands.
We don't know where we're going.
Okay.
I have no idea where we're going.
Just pull over here then, shall I?
Yeah.
With everyone else. Who doesn't know where we're going?
So, what are you doing today? Well, we're doing the ferry, and then I don't know.
Matt's trying to back us up onto a pier, and I am having a bit of a heart attack because we have to go backwards because we've got this trailer on the back of the car, and I feel like I'm gonna fall off the edge of the pier. He thinks it's a great idea. I mean, the view is spectacular, but I cannot. I'm like, my nerves are, and he wants to back up even more. So I'm gonna get out now and see what I think, if it's a good spot for us or if we should go back to where it's a bit more sheltered.
It's a bit windy. We park here for the night.
Although the adventurer and Matt wanted to stay on the seawall, we decided to stay in a spot just before it that was more sheltered from the wind. Perhaps the next day we'd try again once the wind had died down.
Look, Mommy, there's so many cars parking. Look, this
Jack?
race car has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's got 10 wheels, has it, the race car? Baby panda.
I can do it quick.
Why are we washing these toys?
Because we let them play outside in the mud and gravel, and then it started raining and we just let it continue. They seemed fine at the time and it was all good, but everything's trashed unless we look after it, isn't it, Jack? So now we need to clean everything, don't we?
Yes, that is Matt backing up onto the pier again. This time I decided to get out of the car. We've backed the trailer up for the second time this morning, and I hope that we come back to it. The hike we're going to do today is not an easy one. What a surprise. There's not very many easy hikes here in Norway. These islands are really touristy, and it was one of the reasons we thought about not coming at all. But I thought if we started at the end, we got a ferry to start at the end of the islands, that perhaps, because it's only 2.5 hours the whole way, that if it was really bad, that we would just kind of drive through because it's so beautiful. But we found this really quiet spot, which is awesome. So we kind of feel like we're all alone here. And this hike is not supposed to be as busy as some of the other ones, which I opted out of, even though the views are supposed to be amazing. I just thought it's not worth it because it feels like Disneyland. You're literally in lines going up the mountain. So I'm hoping this one won't be like that, and it'll be a bit more peaceful. As a family, we love being out in nature. When we're out on the trails, all our worries and concerns seem to fall away. Big problems don't seem so big anymore, and it's just us and the mountains, wild and free. We had been ascending for 4 hours straight when we reached the hut just below the peak. The kids were reaching their limits and needed a lunch break. We decided to settle there and enjoy our lunch whilst taking in the views. And we knew then it'd be as far as we'd go. In the past, we'd push ourselves to make it up to the peak, even at the expense of our enjoyment. However, since having kids, our hikes go a lot slower, and slowing down allows us to be more mindful of our surroundings and take in the views for a bit longer. Places like this are very special, and it's hard to put into words how spectacular it was. We spent a few hours up here, and during that time, the clouds cleared. And just like that, we had blue skies again. Thankfully, when we got back to the seawall, our trailer was still there waiting for us, and we really enjoyed this unique spot we had found. But inside, we were still feeling so rushed. Norway was always supposed to be a training ground for us to get settled in, and we were starting to get routines in place, but only having 90 days in the Schengen zone limited our time in Europe. We also started Project Wild Earth 2.5 months later than we had originally planned, which made our summer weather window much shorter. Soon, we'd need to head further south for the winter. There was so much more we wanted to explore in Norway. It's an outdoor enthusiast playground, and we had only scratched the surface. But we were going so fast that it was impossible to get everything done, and we were already headed towards burnout if we didn't make a change. So we canceled our plans to another island. Now we'd be able to slow down, and we'd found the perfect spot to do that.
Finally feeling better, lighter than a feather. Got the magic and it feels like a dream. We wake up in the morning, California calling. Got the summer dancing under our feet. All we need is here, the water's crystal clear. We
We were really embracing this slower pace, and the water looked so inviting. Now, this is not like the warm waters of some tropical island. We were still in the Arctic Circle, and it was cold, very cold. I was getting better at these cold water plunges though. That was until an unsuspecting guest came along.
Matt! I don't know if you want to go in there with the jellyfish.
Yup, a jellyfish. Matt thought the deeper water might be safer, but it was even worse. There were dozens of jellyfish, so he stuck to the beach where he could at least see them, and we both managed to go without getting stung.
We got that sunshine feeling, sunshine feeling.
It was starting to get really windy, and cooking dinner would be interesting. Okay, I know this might have looked a little bit dramatic, but it took at least 30 minutes to get this grill going, and it was getting late. We were still waiting for our electric stove to arrive, and so the grill was our only way of cooking. There were no shops or restaurants nearby, and this was just the beginning. The wind was about to make things a whole lot more interesting.
So as you can see, my hair is absolutely crazy. This wind is a lot more powerful than we thought it was going to be in this area.
All these cars are moving.
Yeah, they are moving. They're trying to maybe get somewhere before the storm comes. Yeah, so we put Charlotte to bed. She was already asleep. We were about to put Jack to bed, and the wind just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It was whistling and howling. It reminded me of like hurricanes in Florida. And so yeah, Matt knocked on the window because I was reading to Jack, and was like, we need to get out of here because it's just not safe with the trailer, because we're just facing the winds coming in. Sorry, just look a little crazy right now. Yeah, so it's a bit scary. So we've packed everything up. Everybody's in the car now. We need to find a new place to go. So we're trying to just decide, do we want to stay in this area? Because we were going to go on a hike tomorrow, but the wind's going to get even worse. So I don't know if it's worth even trying to do a hike in the mountains with this kind of wind. It's just not fun, and also it might not be safe. So yeah, we'll see. We don't know where we're sleeping tonight. And what time is it already? I think it's
5 to 9.
9 o'clock. So not what we expected, but we really enjoyed this spot. But it is our time to go.
We found a spot tucked away from the wind about 20 minutes away. Nature reminds us that permanence is an illusion. Everything changes and nothing lasts forever. The weather in Norway had certainly tested our ability to let go of expectations and adapt to the ever-changing circumstances and challenges that come our way.